G'day, g'day, how you going? What do you know? Don't strike a light. G'day, g'day, and how you going? Just say g'day, 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 and you'll be right.
Now we come to the portion before we do our Bible study that we address some end times news and trends that are happening around the world as it relates to Bible prophecy. As some of you who are watching what's going on, Ramadan had started on Friday night. And Ramadan is the deadliest, most violent month of the year. Not only in our calendar, but in Islam. Because Islam is a peaceful religion, and they want to create peace and love and harmony with everyone, so they blow everyone up and kill people. So Islamic State says that they urge an all-out war on the West for Ramadan, attack them in their homes, according to Brett Bart report. So they had this annual call for violence during Muslims' holy month Ramadan and urged jihadists and sympathizers to wage an all-out war in the West, stressing and targeting non-combatants through encrypted telegram messages and different apps and channels. And ISIS has disseminated its Ramadan propaganda in the form of an audio-accompanied slideshow. The group's 2017 call for violence is titled, "Where Are the Lions of War?" And specifically, the message urges jihadists to carry out attacks in the United States, Russia, and throughout Europe. And you already saw an event that took place earlier the week in Manchester. You're targeting, as the article goes on to say, you're targeting the so-called innocent and civilians is beloved by us and the most effective. So go forth and may you get a great reward or martyrdom in Ramadan, declares ISIS in the message. And again, Ramadan's supposed to be that holy month where they fast, and actually there's more gluttony that takes place in Ramadan than any other time. They may fast during the day, but they glutton themselves at night after the sundown, which is kind of, when you look at what does take place in Ramadan, it's quite interesting. But last year alone, just so you have an understanding of the violence that took place in Ramadan, extreme affiliate terrorists killed at least 420 people and wounded nearly 730 others in that 1 month alone. So don't tell me Islam is a peaceful religion when that sort of stuff happens. So we need to be praying that their evil plans get stopped and or hindered. On to another news report. In Iran has built a third underground ballistic missile factory, which goes against the UN resolution and the whole Iran deal, which we knew was a farce. It's just a cover-up so that Iran can build its nuclear facilities and get billions of dollars to fund its nuclear programs. So they have built a third underground ballistic missile production factory that will keep developing its missile program. The official news agency quoted a senior commander in the Revolutionary Guard, and this came out of Reuters' website. The development is likely to fuel tensions within the U.S. In a week when Donald Trump, on his first foreign trip, has called the Iran a sponsor of militant group and has threatened to countries across the Middle East. And again, Iran is that number one terror sponsor. With Hezbollah and Hamas, they're giving them the weapons, they're giving them the finances to wage war against Israel. And again, this whole thing goes against the UN resolution. Is the UN going to do anything about it? No. Libya. Also speaking of another breeding ground and training ground for jihadists. This came out as several different websites have the same piece of information. Feeding on the chaos that has gripped Libya since the overthrow of Muammar Gaddafi in 2011, jihadists have used the country in Libya to recruit and export militants. And again, the one that carried out the attack in Manchester was born in Britain, but then went to Libya, got his training and did all that stuff, and then just days before left Libya to go to Manchester and suicide bomb and killed 22 people and wounding over 60 others. So again, this was one of those many reasons why there was a travel ban from a country like Libya Iran, Syria, Somalia, Sudan, I think I've already mentioned that, and Yemen. Because those 7 countries are the number 1 countries for exporting terrorism. So every country has a right to defend itself and to open up the borders or to close off visas. So for the safety and the protection of people, it makes sense to close off those type of countries so you can vet them a little better. Also, in dealing with the Middle East, as the tragedy happened again in Egypt with the killing of Christians on a bus as they were driving to a monastery to pray. These Coptic Christians were ambushed by ISIS. They killed them at point-blank range, and they shot them up. And this was south of Cairo, about 135 kilometers. Again, ISIS was behind the attacks, and again, as you remember, during Easter time, they bombed 2 churches, and then back in December, they also killed at least 29 other people. So again, the Coptics on Friday had been traveling to this monastery to pray, and then they're ambushed by this convoy of ISIS terrorists, between 8 to 10 gunmen wearing military uniform. When the witnesses saw what was going on. So we need to be praying. Again, this is just one of those reminders for the persecuted Christians around the world that have to endure this sort of lifestyle, just the constant threat of being martyred. So we need to pray for protection, grace, strength, boldness, courage, and that the gospel goes out. And we need to be praying for comfort and peace for the family and the loved ones in the midst of it. And then the last point, just in dealing with Israel, this report was a statistic that was given, a polling out of the Jerusalem Post that says 78% of Israelis say peace is not possible, split if PM series to make a deal. And again, Israel will not make a deal if there's a split within Jerusalem. Some 78%, according to the article, says there is no chance of reaching a peace agreement with the Palestinians, despite the efforts by the U.S. President Donald Trump, according to the panel research that was given on Monday. The results were on Thursday. Only 18% said it is possible to reach an agreement. So there is some 542 polling to constitute what is called a statistical sample of the population with the margin of error of 1.3%. So even among the Israelis who define themselves as left-wing, only 21% said that peace agreement is possible, while 76% there is no chance, 3% don't know. Despite the skepticism of the negotiations can succeed, the majority of Israel want to restart, talks to restart. With 58% saying that they're in favor of it, 33% they're opposed to it, 9% said they don't know. So again, it's a mixed bag what's going on there. And again, you can't trust the Palestinians because they have such hatred toward the Jews and for Israel. And so this is going to be a long road. Again, there's a real push right now with the Vatican and also with the U.S. president trying to push a peace agreement within the Middle East there. But one of the keys to this peace agreement will have to be the third temple that will have to be negotiated on the Temple Mount. We'll talk about this partly in our message on the apostasy and the Antichrist as we go through 2 Thessalonians. And but this is where we're getting so much closer to the rapture of the church. You know, as we're inching closer and closer to the tribulation period, to the events that are happening in the Middle East and Israel, and this push for this peace deal, we know it's a matter of time. You know, just days, seconds are coming closer and closer to this event happening. So again, we're just going to keep our eyes on Jesus, staying ready and be ready for his soon return. Tell as many people about Jesus and be busy serving him until he comes. Amen? And that concludes today's update.